Happy Delightful Sunday. My name is Leslie and I am delightful. Today's topic of conversation is all about community. I know that I use the word a lot. I love using the word, but it's a trendy topic right now. It's a tagline. And it's important for us to really break down that word. I want to use the word and I will continue to use the word, but understanding what that really means is so important. When you grow up in Western world, especially like America, capitalist, rat race world, we get brainwashed into being so individualistic that community is like a concept out of reach and not something that's attainable or that's something that we know. The biggest place that we can go to find the essence of community is our family. And a lot of people have different perspectives on family, like hard relationships with family. And I know like it can be hard. Trust me, I brought my girlfriend home to a Catholic family. Like, that shit was difficult to go through. But I still am a big believer in, if you're my family, I'm going to forgive you. You're going to forgive me. We're going to talk about it and we're going to find equitable grounds and we're going to move forward. And that's the only way to keep community, really, is to be able to cultivate a safe space of communication and of like a deep understanding of like, listen, we're gonna be different, but let's fucking do this shit. Let's get this shit done. Let's tackle life. Let's create amazing, beautiful things. Let's grow food. Let's take care of our children. Like, that's the main source of life, right? Is like family units, is community units. Beyond like internal family, you have like external family, and then you have like neighborhood, you have towns and cities, state, country. But I always think micro solution, microeconomics, micro sociological lens is the way I work. Global solutions, I'm not the best at. I like to challenge myself. But really micro is where I thrive. I think because I am a womb having woman and I want to have kids and I want to have a family unit. Like, I grew up with a family like that, so it's like inside of me that I do want that. So I think micro, I think in family units and I think in community units. But you don't hold community without true, authentic, transparent communication. And in order to show up to these spaces and have these difficult conversations, you need to know who you are and where you stand and how to show up and defend your stance. And you won't get that practice unless you're around people who are asking you why, how. Or people who are telling you, I think you're wrong. Explain to me why you're not. The more people that you're around that challenge you and challenge your way of thinking, there's more growth there. Especially if you're around people who believe in something different than you, but are open to understanding your perspective and to hearing and listening to your perspective and are respectful about it. And the best way to do that is to be that ourselves. Like, learning to stand our ground, learning to be respectful to others, but also learning how to listen, communicate, and empathize with people that are different than you is so important. Especially like, we're turning into global citizens. If you travel a lot and you use that framework, knowing cultures, learning different tones, listening to different traditions, ways of doing, being, speaking is so important. If you want to travel or if you're thinking about leaving your country, with social media right now, we're so cross pollinating in between different worlds and cultures, like literally worlds, different realities are blending, merging right now. Families are being created, friendships, communities. If that's of interest to you, if you're watching different if you're watching people on social media that are from different countries, we don't want to merge into one homogenous people. We want to keep our differences. We want to keep our different cultures, our different traditions. We just want to integrate and intersect all of those different perspectives and living methods, ways of life, really. I keep repeating the same words. But so one, in order to have community, in order to show up and be confident in having disagreements within community, in order to move forward with community, you have to have a strong sense of self. But also within that strong sense of self, you also have to know and be humble enough to accept when you're wrong and to be open to learning new ways of doing things. Why stay stagnant? Like, I want to learn and change all the time. Like, I want to peel back layers and grow new ones all the time. Like, that's what I want. So I don't understand when people don't want that. Staying stagnant is safe and comfortable. I get it. But it's not the way to move forward, especially the way that the globe is going right now. There is a advantage to grounding, but also being flexible enough to change and shift and to go and to move around, and talking about community, it can do both for me because it grounds me in the fact that our ancestors knew community. That's all we did. We worked and lived and thrived in community. Community wasn't a big deal or topic because it was it was a part of our daily life. But also community now can mean expansion. It can mean global communities. I can connect to someone in another country now. I can learn new cultures and traditions and ways of food and speaking and playing because of the way that that tech is taking us. So community can do both. It can ground you in in-person relationships. It can ground you in creation of projects and collaborations. But it can also take you to think about the way that global communities and where that can take us. MycoFest's theme last year in 2025 was the solar punk future, this place where nature and tech blend, where our ancestors and our future generations come together. And I think that the word community is beautifully grounding us, yet taking us to the future too. And, their right and wrong is a very iffy topic because we can say that there's no right or wrong, just a defense of, which is half of my perspective. But I know that there are just some things that can be done better, aka the way that they're doing it now is wrong. So I do have those two perspectives, and I guess it comes down to like what we're talking about, like the topic at hand, as to what perspective I can take about it. But which community are you going to integrate yourself with matters, because are they doing the right or wrong thing? How are they explaining it? How are they defending it? Beyond a tagline on a reel or a tagline on a news article, really digging into the research is necessary. It's necessary to really know what each community is talking about, what they're referring to, and how best to interact with that community, and to know which community, like I said, to relate yourself with. I'm making those decisions. I used to want to do business with anybody because I'm like, the more business, the better. But well, then ethics comes into play. And like, if this community is not representing our people like I think that they should, like, am I going to continue to be relacionados with them? It's definitely important, standing 10 toes down on who we are, empowering ourselves, strengthening our positioning, and then standing 10 toes down on that decision, on who you are deciding to be every day, on who you're deciding to show up as, who you're deciding to defend also. You know, so many things I'm just thinking about that I'm like, yeah, I could do better, I could do more, I could dig deeper, and I can stand stronger. I am self-aware enough to be able to know what I can be doing, what I am doing, what I shouldn't be doing, and to talk about it and get to a place of growth and of rootedness. You know, not every decision is easily able to be changed. Access to resources matters. You know, economic positioning, like survival, like that matters, and that dictates our choices all the time. So if your stance is somewhere and you want to change it, it's going to take time to shift over to that. Down here, we have time on earth, you know, things happen according to time. You can't wave a magic wand and shift or change happen. So, you know, moving in the direction and going down the path of positive change, of positive shift, of healthy shift and change is what we can do. If we can't instantly change a circumstance that we don't like or a positioning we don't like, moving down that path is very important. Aligning yourself with the people, communities, and places and things that align with that decision you're taking of who you are and who you want to be and how you want to live. The cats are fighting. So that's my DelightFull Sunday service for y'all. You know, stay in community, build real community, define what that word, what's going on? Define what that word means for you. Define the communities that you're in, the ones you want to get to, the ones you want to be a part of, and then, you know, learning how to create your own community. When you start and create a community, it comes from your beliefs, your values. You're the one creating it. What are the values of your community? What are the beliefs? And standing on it. And moving forward, you know, how can that community work to make the world a better place? That should always be our goal. So when you create a community, how is this impacting others? How am I using the communities that I'm a part of or that I'm creating in order to make the world a better place? You can think as small as you want or as big as you want with any community that you're spearheading. Y'all are my community. Whoever is listening to me right now, we're creating these spaces. Whether we see each other in person or we only talk online, I'm creating a space, an energetic force field here. And it's important for us to be intelligent enough to sit in it and to know what we're doing. We're not just going to be blindly creating out here, moving. We're intentional about our movements. We're intentional about the conversations we have within community. We're intentional about what we're creating as collaborative groups, as people. Your relationships matter and your friends matter because that's what's coming out of y'all. Y'all are birthing all the time, whether it's through conversation or physical creation. And I'll leave it. I have a hard time coming on here and saying opinions about specific things. I mean, it's such a, the global politics is so huge and hugely misunderstood, but widely known, hugely misunderstood. And, but I can say one thing, the power-driven, ego-hungry, empty, patriarchal drive is not serving us or the earth. So if our communities can do anything towards making sure that we don't raise our children empty, and to making sure that we're not power-driven, money-hungry, ego beings, if we can change the priorities of the kids that are growing up, if we can inject them with conversation and discourse, that was weird. If we can show them healthy discourse, if we can show them not how to be assholes, how to live with people that they're different from, how to culture them, we can start moving forward, because our youth that are in power then are going to have these hearts that we don't see right now with positions of power. But even beyond those people who are going into positions of power, if you're not in these positions of power, still how you tend the earth and how you take care of you and your family and your community it matters. So the values of earth care, of people care, of ancestral ways of living are gonna be important for the future, are important now, we're always important, to eradicate colonialism from our brains. Now I'm going hard, but it all starts with community. Who do you surround yourself with? What are you creating? Can you have healthy discourse? How do we move forward? How do we communicate with each other so that we don't hate each other, get angry, create war? How do we care about others enough to create communities that take care of each other? You need to work on yourself to show up the best version of yourself. You need to listen to others so that community can thrive and can keep going and they're not broken up all the time, so that we're stronger forefront, so nobody can come in and just break you. Whether you're a family unit or a community, neighborhood, town unit, or you're, an organization, or you're a company, that vibe matters. How you keep that a vibe. Living in Texas, a lot of people I don't do Democrat or Republican. I don't do that shit. I'm very radical in some ways. Traditional, barely, but in some ways. There's an anarchist that lives inside of me. So Texas is very not like that. There's a lot of religion here, and I hate religion. Love God, hate religion. So, but I want to share space with these people. And there's some people, cool people, that I've shared space with that I don't want to let that get in the way of creating friendships, It's very, exclusive. It's not inclusive to be a part of a community that, unless they're, spewing hatred, I will not relate myself, relacionarme with people that are spewing hatred. That's, my biggest boundary. If you're not out here hating people, literally, you should burn in hell if you're gay or some shit. If you're not doing that, we can create a space where we, where we agree to disagree on some things. And honestly, I like the challenge. I like having conversations with people who don't agree with me. I'm like, let's go, man. I know my bullet points. I can prove you here, here, here. It gets me fired up. So I like it, and I urge y'all to like it too. Don't take it too personal. Don't get too emotional, stay in it and have fun with the discourse, really. And have hope that maybe you can get them to see your way, without hatred, without anger, and with clear and concise points, articulation and explanation and definition. And if you're good, then you can win the argument. You can win the discourse, the discussion, the debate, not argument. Happy Delightful Sunday, y'all. I hope you enjoy whatever part of your day you're in. Peace and blessings.